Hello everybody. Last year I had the pleasure of meeting Doug Moore of Pohl Barn Productions, and he gave me this great big beastly chunk of locust. I believe it's honey locust. Well, I've had this on standby since then. Now it's time to do something with it. So the first thing I've got to do is cut it down to size. I'm just flattening one side, and then I'm going to kind of make it round with the chainsaw. It's too beastly for the bandsaw. I'm not gonna stress out that little bandsaw I've got with it. And why pass up an opportunity to use the chainsaw, right? I'm going to use it more than once in this video. You'll see. Even after trimming this thing down, it's still really heavy. And the wood's very hard. I actually had to drill starter holes to get the faceplate screws in. I've never had to do that before on a piece of wood. Interesting. Now this thing, you can tell it's almost round, but it's still so out of balance that I could not speed my lathe up more than about 250 RPMs without the lathe wanting to walk across the shop. So I already knew this was going to be a challenging turn, just because of the density of this wood. You may have noticed in the beginning of this video that this piece of wood has some bark inclusions, and it also, it's got some interesting cuts and bark deviations on the outside of it that I'm hoping to take advantage of. Now, this will be a very big, heavy, artistic, rustic looking bowl, if all goes well. You can see here in real-time footage, this thing is just beating the crap out of me. But I am always up for a challenge. It's a beast. It's going to be a beautiful beast. So I figured I'd bust out the battery-powered chainsaw. Just a little guy, but I figured it would do the job. And I was able to cut a good bit of it off. Some of the unevenness. But still, it was stressing this little saw out. This wood is really hard. But it did okay. All that trimming was good for about 50 more RPMs, 50 or 60. So I'm up above 300 now. But any faster than that, and I gotta put a saddle on this thing while I'm turning, and I don't want to do that. So here I was looking at the base of the bowl, the side that's facing you right now, and I knew how much I had to take off to get that flat. And it was going to take forever with a bowl gouge, even that big 3/4 inch bowl gouge that I'm using. So I probably should have took off a little more, hindsight being 2020 and all, but it's all gouge work from here on out. Well, for the most part. And taking off that chunk of wood got me a little bit more RPM freedom, but the fastest I ever got this lathe turned up to was about, well, somewhere between 500 and 600 RPM, and that was towards the end of the project. Just so out of balance. Very interesting wood. You may be wondering if it was wet, but no, I gotta say it's pretty dry. I didn't take a moisture meter to it, but I didn't get any indications of this wood being green. All these shavings are dry. And here I'm just marking for the recess or mortise, and also for the outer perimeter of the foot itself. And like it says on screen, there's initial sanding, then sanding sealer, and then resanding, and then multiple coats of shellac, which I sand in between and after, all the way up to 1200. That being said, this bowl has very rustic qualities to it. So it's not perfect. There's some marks that I leave in the bowl that I could have corrected, but I decided that they kind of fit the theme of the bowl. So I went with it. You see the grain deviations there. I think that has a lot to do with the imbalance of the bowl. Just some of this wood's a lot more dense than the other. Alright, so let's take a look at what some of you have been making out there. There's so much talent in this audience. It's just amazing to me. Pebbles McNeil made these. These are really nicely done, Pebbles. And congratulations on this, your first segmented project. Very nice. Van Matthews made that beautiful segmented bowl right there. And that's something that you can win. Check out the video description. Van's raising money for the Alzheimer's Association. Something that's near and dear to my heart. Take a look if you want to have a chance to win that bowl and support a really good cause. And I want to thank everybody for subscribing. All you old timers out there that have been with me for years, and all the new viewers and subscribers. I sure appreciate it. Onward and upward. Let's keep growing together. So at first glance it looks like I'm turning a really thick bowl here, but if you take a look at that one section of the wall, it's really thin. And it's as thin as I'm going to go with it. So I'm just trying to make sure that I've got an even, well, thickness all the way through the bowl, besides that one very thin side. And what that's going to do for me is just lend itself to the rustic and artistic design of this bowl. And all I'm trying to do here is get it mostly flat on the bottom. And then because it's so uneven, there's a whole lot of hand sanding involved, which is fine. Same process on the inside as the out that I described earlier in the video. This is still a big, heavy beast of a bowl. I sure like the patterns in it, though. I think it turned out nice. Let me know what you think. It's about 6 inches tall, maybe a little shy of that. 14 inches across, outside diameter at the rim. And it's heavy. You can see the variations on the outside there. What I was going for. It's pretty unique, I'll give it that. I hope you like it. It was a challenge. Thanks again, Doug. I sure appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Semper Fi.